Guys, so today we will discuss about the congestive heart failure. The CHF is classified into two types, that is acute CHF and chronic CHF. Now the most common cause of acute CHF is an acute insult to the myocardium, as in case of myocardial infarction. So let's suppose that there is MI in left ventricle. So what will happen? It will cause decreased contraction of left ventricle. This decreased contraction will lead to stasis of blood in left ventricle, then followed by left atrium, due to which there will be an increase in the back pressure to the lungs, which will cause the engorgement of pulmonary vessels, due to which there will be pulmonary edema. The first drug which we will give for the treatment of pulmonary edema caused by myocardial infarction will be combination of furosemide with morphine, and if it is not relieved by this, then we will give intravenous nitroglyceride. And the third drug that we can also give in to relieve the pulmonary edema is BNP analogs, that is brain natriuretic peptide analogs. There are some recently approved drugs also for the treatment of pulmonary edema. One of them is sinaciguate, which lead to an increased activation of guanylate cyclase, due to which there will be an increased production of cyclic GMP, which will lead to vasodilation. Another drug is serelaxin, which is basically the relaxin analog, which is a hormone synthesized in pregnancy for vasodilation. So this is how we can treat the pulmonary edema, but we also have to treat the cause of the pulmonary edema, that is the decrease in the contraction. So for this we simply give some positive anodrops, for example dobutamine. But in case of CHF with oliguria, to treat the decrease in contraction, we give dopamine, or we can also give phosphodiesterase 3 inhibitors. So there are some recently approved drugs for the treatment of decreased contraction, like omecamtiv mecarbil, which is a selective myosin stimulator, and it does not causes the increase in oxygen demand. The another drug is staroxime, which is basically the sodium potassium ATS pump inhibitor and calcium ATPase stimulator. So this is how we can treat the patient of acute CHF. Now let's see the chronic CHF. In chronic CHF, there will be a gradual decrease in cardiac output. This gradual decrease in cardiac output will lead to gradual decrease in oxygen supply, due to which there will be activation of some compensatory mechanisms. This activation of compensatory mechanism can either lead to failure of compensation or succeed the compensation. In case of failure, the condition is known as decompensated chronic CHF, which is just like the condition of acute CHF, and the treatment of decompensated chronic CHF is also same as in case of acute CHF. And when the compensation is succeed, the condition is known as compensated chronic CHF. In compensation, basically there is increased in secretion of catecholamines. This increased catecholamines will cause or affect the heart and can lead to increased contraction and an increase in heart rate. The catecholamines will also affect the blood vessels, where it causes vasoconstriction. It will also activate the RAS mechanism, in which there is increase in vasoconstriction and retention of sodium and water. So here we can see that this compensatory mechanism is increasing the work of heart, means it is increasing the stretching of myocardial cells more and more, which will lead to increase in stress of myocardial cells, which will lead to cardiac remodeling, that is increase in the size of myocardial cells. It is an adaptive mechanism. Due to this increase in the size of cell, there will be increased oxygen demand of myocardial cells. So it will cause more decrease in cardiac output and more decrease in oxygen supply. It will again cause more cardiac remodeling and again more oxygen demand. This process is the main cause of mortality in chronic CHF. To decrease this mortality, we have to decrease this cardiac remodeling. We can give some drugs to decrease this cardiac remodeling. For example, beta blockers to decrease the contraction of heart, ivabradine to decrease the heart rate. We can also give some vasodilators like isosorbide, dinitrate and hydrazine. We can also give some RAS inhibitors like ACE inhibitors and ARBs and spironolactone. And if the patient is symptomatic, then we give digoxin. In the next video, we will discuss the different classes of drugs one by one.